Let's make a fun little Christmas stocking that fits in your hand. I'm planning to pop a lip balm inside and give it to my friends. Draw an 8.5 times 7 centimeters rectangle. Just freehand the curve. Draw an 8.5 times 5 centimeters rectangle. Place the outer pattern on top. Trace the heel curve. Trace the pattern, leaving at least a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Flip it over and trace another one. Cut it with at least a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Trace the liner pattern the same way as the outer. Cut just the straight edge at a 1 centimeter seam allowance. I realize it's much easier to sew later if you measure and cut the seam allowance nicely. At the beginning, I hadn't trimmed the seam allowance yet, so in the rest of the video, you'll see me sewing without trimming. But please trim yours before moving on to the next step. Let's sew the pieces together. Place the pieces right sides together. Sew the cuff and the lining together. Sew the remaining pieces together the same way. Since the fabric for the cuff is thick, trim off the extra seam allowance. Let's make a loop. Feel free to press the fold with an iron too. This roll and press is really handy for making quick creases. Pin the loop in place along the heel side of the cuff, slightly toward the lining. Place the pieces right sides together. Tuck the loop inside. Leave an opening on the straight edge of the lining, then sew all the way around. When layering the pieces right sides together, make sure to line up the cuff edge on the outer fabric. Trim the excess seam allowance. For the curves, make small snips or use pinking shears. Especially on this curve, add V-shaped notches for a cleaner finish. Turn it right side out through the opening. If your fingers can't get in, use a stick or a turning tool to push it out. Close the opening. Fold the cuff at the center and tuck it inside the outer piece. I removed the toe section on the lining, so it's easier to sew and much easier to tuck inside the outer piece. Make it nice and neat. It's the perfect size for a lip balm. It's also the perfect size to use as a Christmas tree ornament. It also looks super cute as a bag charm.